Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Having technical difficulties tonight here on the West Coast. It's just one of those things. It's technology. I'm not going to get frustrated with it. I'm just going to broadcast live for as long as I can. What I did, it was giving me a bad connection, so I actually unplugged everything, turned my phone off, rebooted. I'm actually using my cellular data if the wireless kicks out, so let's just hope for a smooth remainder of the show, shall we? Let's see who's in here right now. Patrick, how are you, my friend? Not sure if the first one went up, but I think we'll be okay now. We are getting some strange weather here in the Lower Mainland right now. I don't know if that has anything to do with my bad connection, but I'm connected now, and I'm connected with you here on Facebook, and thank you so much for joining me. This is MattTv. We do it Monday through Friday, 6 o'clock Pacific on Facebook Live. So thank you so much. A lot of things to get to tonight. Yes, thank you, Laura. I love this sweater. I just put it together. Just put it together now. I learned how to crochet at lunch, watched a couple YouTube videos, and bada bing, bada boom, done. Not a true story at all. But thanks for tuning in. What's the weather like on the island? We're getting rain here in the Lower Mainland. I'm sure you get rain way before we do. Anyway, thanks so much for joining the show last night. I just want to mention, hey, William, how are you? I just want to mention last night that my wife, Jennifer, was on here, and we were talking about tinnitus. And she had mentioned numerous times in our talk that when she discusses it and becomes aware of it, that's when it really starts to get to her. Hi, Tanya, how are you? So after the show last night, she had to go lie down because just her talking about it made the ringing in her ears even louder. Just that awareness of the ringing. So after last night's show, Jen had to go lie down, and she was not in a good state of mind last night after the show. But huge shout out to Jen last night for coming on the show. The sacrifice she made just to tell her story, and I know the consequences of her talking about that. It's a lot of discomfort for Jen. So love her so much, and I'm glad she was on here to share. And thank you for all the support and the feedback and the questions that you had for Jen last night. It was really cool. I will definitely give the girls a hug. They're like, we got rain here right now, so everyone's just kind of chilling out. It's a nice, quiet Tuesday night here. And speaking of Tuesday night, this is a segment that will only run this week because it will be the only week that it will make sense. But 1 week from tonight, actually a few hours ago, I would have been getting on a bus. So can anyone tell me, 1 week from tonight, this is just a segment I want to do this week. We all know that I'm getting on a bus and going to Boston. Nice, nice, nice. I hope you're just parked in the driveway. So can anyone guess where Kaya, my daughter, and I, where we will be next Tuesday night at this time? 1 week from tonight. 1 week from tonight. Can anyone guess where Moon and I will be? We will be in the States on our way to Boston. Can anyone tell me? And that's what we'll do. So tomorrow night, I'll ask you again, where will we be in the U.S. as we make our way across the United States of America? Leaving Vancouver 1 week from today, next Tuesday afternoon at 1:30. Where will we be? Yes, we're going to be on a bus, William. Yeah, your comedic timing is aces, man. Yeah, we're going to be on a bus, but where will we be? We leave Vancouver at 1:30 in the afternoon. Now remember, a lot of stops with the Greyhound bus. Yes, we will be in Seattle. We will be in Seattle. So next Tuesday at this time, Kai and I will be at the Greyhound Depot in Seattle, Washington, and then making our trek on from there. I know I have everything written down. I'm just trying to make it a game for people playing at home. That's all. That's all. Oh, so yes. So Tanya wins. Next week at this time, I will be in Seattle. And if you've never been to Seattle, go there. It's a beautiful, beautiful city. Okay, so that's done. So like I said, I want to streamline things, but I love shout-outs, and shout-outs are just my personal observations. Hi, Twyla, my personal observations, my conversations, things that I see. But I wanted to start something. I want to streamline it, and I thought, what if I called it The Past 24? The past being spelled P-A-S-S-E-D. Yeah, you know what? You're only 12 hours away. Anything is possible. I'm really looking forward to this summer, so I'm not going to rule anything out. Well, you can come down here. We can go up there. It don't matter. But I want to try something called the Past 24. And you might like this idea. You may not like this idea. But it's my show. And I hope I don't lose viewers over it. But it's nothing controversial. My goodness, it's Matthew you're talking to. Or you're listening to. All I want to do is tell you what has happened in my life from the moment I get up out of this chair at 7 o'clock at night to sitting back down at 6 o'clock. So what have I done in the past 24? So I'm just going to quickly bring you up to speed, and then we're going to get into our stories. I got 60 minutes. I have 60 minutes to fill, and I have to do it every night. It's a challenge. I love the challenge. So anything that I can do to make the show go a little smoother, that's what I'm going to do. And for those playing at home and have been regular viewers and know what the product plug is, the product plug, the product has been sitting in front of you the entire time. The package is too big. The package is too big, so I had to take it out of the package and put it in a glass. That sentence could be taken out of context and put up on so many different media sites. It would be, no, they're not. No one's going to get this. No one's going to get this. No, they're not jelly beans. No, 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 no. That's why I put them in a glass. I'm going to stump. I'm stumping you people tonight. No one's getting this tonight. No. No. Grant's laughing tonight. Grant's laughing tonight. No. Okay. So you can keep guessing away at that because you'll be here all night doing that. Don't forget Dream Journal. If you want to hear a dream, give me a number between 1 and 115. I'll read you a dream. I got a medic diary. 1 week tonight. We just did it. Product plug is ongoing. And listen to this. This is classic. And I wish Darren O'Donnell, I wish the dude was on here because I have in my possession, for those of you that don't know, I took the radio broadcasting course, 25. Okay, just let me, I'm going to find 25 right now. But before I lose track of thought, I want to tell you about my radio broadcasting days. Hang on one sec here. Dream 25, 25, 25, 25, 25. Ooh, it's called Star Trek, Laura. Yes! Okay, Dream 25. That will be the one dream of the night. So, Laura, you get the dream of the night. And I know that you chose 25 because your birthday is my birthday as well, and Michael's birthday, and another guy named Martin, January 25th. So I know that's why you chose that number. So good on you. That dream coming up real quick. But for those of you that don't know, I started my, when I graduated high school in 1991, I really had no idea what I was going to do with my life. And then one day, I don't know how I got, something came in the mail or someone told me about the radio broadcasting course at New Brunswick Community College in Woodstock. So you had to audition for the course. 2-year course, long story short. I'm in my second year. You don't even get a chance. Like there's a radio station in the community college and it's contained within there because it was so bad. You didn't really want it going outside of the building. Comment on my video. I'll have to check it out later. We had some technical difficulties earlier on, like when the show first got going, we had some technical difficulties and I just said, no, not going to happen, not going to happen. So we're all good now. We're all good. And here we are at 6:13. So what I have here tonight, if you want to hear it, it is my first ever, the first words that I ever uttered at a radio station. I have on tape and I've recorded it. I now have it on an MP3 and I would love to play for you the most brutal introduction to a song that you'll ever hear. So if you want to hear something from my, and this goes back to 1993, so if you want to hear something from my first ever, the first time I opened up my chops on radio, I have that stuff if you want to hear it. I won't blame you if you don't want to hear it. I won't blame you at all. Anyway, I got sidetracked there, but you know what? It's 6:15. I got lots to talk about. It's a challenge. Oh, you want to hear it, Wayne? Yeah, I knew you'd jump right on. Okay, hang on one sec here. I laugh every time I hear it. I'm just going to, I already have it queued up. So I'm just going to move the microphone over a little bit so you can hear. Again, the microphone is on the table here, so just let me pull it up. What happened? It's an air check tape. So what happens is when we're on air, we put a blank cassette in the tape recorder, and whenever we turn our mic on, it records. So your music director or your boss can listen to your on-air shift. He could listen to a 4-hour on-air shift in a matter of minutes. I think this was an hour shift, but it's only 8 minutes of me talking, which that's the beautiful thing of radio. Like, even though most DJs work a 4-hour shift, like the morning guy will work from 6 till 10. Even though they're in studio for 4 hours, they're really only, if you break it down to how much they're talking, it's not a lot of time, but obviously when the mic is off, they're prepping for their next bit, right? Anyway, I'm long-winded. I get it. I'm a Grant. So this is for Wayne. This is halfway through my shift, so I think I'm starting to warm up. Remember, again, this is my first time being on a radio station. This is college radio. I think I've come a little way since then, but this is for Wayne. Have a listen, Wayne.
Jordan, I will make you a believer on college radio CHCR. 3:35, 25 minutes to the hour of 4 o'clock when I will be out the door. PM Dawn and The Ways of the Wind from the album, the Bliss album, subtitled Vibrations of Love and Anger. And the prod, something like that.
I love that line, something like that. Totally walk the vocal. That's one thing you don't do in radio. You don't walk the vocal. And I just got tongue-tied, and the intro or the title of the album was way too long. Anyway, that's to me, that's good comedy. That is good comedy in my own little world. Hope you enjoyed that, Wayne. It's 8 minutes long. Like I said, this is my first on-air shift. We're going back to like 93, 94. But that was funny. I hope that dude has a chance to see this, because people that are in radio will really appreciate. Wasn't that cool, eh? Oh, that was brutally awesome. Oh, it's I started off by doing the news. Like, just to hear me talk, I was very stiff and robotic. When I first, obviously getting into, hey, Austin, how are you? When I first started going off, getting into radio, I was very rigid, and everything was very structured, and I wrote everything down, and you can hear that in my delivery. I think I've loosened up a little bit, but if you want to hear the whole 8 minutes, Wayne, I have it on an MP3. It is something, your ribs might be sore, because it's quite funny, especially having, you know me, right? You've heard me on the radio, and to hear me from the very beginning, I still find it funny. Hey, Mike, how you doing, my friend? So, I'm just loving this. I can't express to you people how much I enjoy sitting in this chair. I just can't. It means so much to me. The viewers that I have, the loyal viewers that I have, it's, you know who you are, and I'm so thrilled. I look forward to you tuning in to my show, hopefully as much as you like tuning into my show. Swedish Fish in the Cup. No, not Swedish Fish in the Cup. But that is the product plug. I was saying earlier, Sarah, that you people are so good. I had to take it out of the package, and no one's guessed it yet. No one's guessed it yet. I wanted to give you a hint. I want to say it's named after... No, I'm not even going to do that. Anyway, keep guessing. Oh, William Linder. Yeah, brother. Yes, William Linder. No, William Linder gets it. That a boy, William. Yeah. Nice. That's a first. That is a first that someone has told me what the product plug, with it just being in a glass. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, I thought it was hard candy. These are actually chewy. That was your next guess. Good stuff. I thought it was hard candy. I'm glad it's chewy. Okay. Getting back to the past 24. Did anyone, when I shut the show down last night, and here's another thing I find it hard to understand. Well, not hard to understand, but it must be difficult being a sports fan with an interest in a West Coast team, just with the time difference. But last night, after finishing the show, I went into the house, and there was like 2 seconds left in the first half. So I ended up watching the second half of the NCAA National Championship game, and the officiating was just brutal. There was no flow to the game. Jim Nantz and Dick Vitale, who were commentating on the game, they talked more about the officials. They talked more about the officials than they did the game. I don't know how many times throughout the game that Jim Nantz deliberately said that, you know, he just was going after the officiating. I've seen some great championship games. I gave that one a 6 out of 10. Like I said, the game should not be decided by the officiating, and it was just not the best game. Not the best game. This morning, I'm off to work, and I stop and there was 2 weird situations at 2 separate Petro-Canada gas stations today. This morning, I pulled into the Petro-Canada at Stewartson Way and 12th in New Westminster. Went inside to get gas. There was no one in there. One clerk. She's running around like a chicken with her head cut off because there's no gas. There is no gas in the tanks underground, and she's panicking. I'm like, it's not your problem. Like, you got to relax a little bit, take a breath. I'm like, where's your help? She goes, I don't know. I don't know where anyone is. So I kind of felt bad for her because I just smiled and said, well, I hope things work out. Have a nice day. And then I went off to work. So I hope things worked out for her. I get to work, and I'm just going to quickly say, it doesn't matter if other people are speaking a different language that you don't understand. You still know if they're arguing. You still know. You can tell by the tone of voice, body language, the elevation of voice talk. So that was kind of funny. I overheard 2 guys today arguing. I didn't know what they were saying, but I could tell they were arguing just because of what I just told you. So work was fine today. I actually worked with a lot of bark mulch today. I don't know how many people do. I will, you know what, Wayne? I'm going to upload that whole 8-minute clip. I'll put it on my SoundCloud, and then I'll forward you the link. Most people in their right mind would not take their first on-air tape and put it up on the internet if they ever wanted to work in radio or TV again. Me, I push the envelope. Me, I don't care. That was like 93. It's good comedy, but yes, I will definitely send that to you. I just reading your comment here, Mike. Here's what I heard this morning. Now, there are hockey players. I just saw a story tonight. Hey, Nick. How is the weather in Illinois? Yeah. Here's what I heard. Even though Gary Bettman says it's officially closed, the last Olympics, they reached the last minute deal. But even if there's no deal, there are still so many talented Canadian players playing in Europe and the American Hockey League. So they're going to draw from those people. That's one option. It's like, ding dong, Hockey Canada's here. You want to play for your country in the Olympics? Yes. Yes, I do. So in a way, I'm not thrilled that Canada is not sending its elite, the best players, but we still have a deep, deep pool of talent, the deepest in the world, if you ask me. So, disappointed, yes, that the NHL players are not going to be there as of right now. But on the other hand, let's give these other Canadian hockey players, let's give them a chance. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. I had another strange interaction today at another Petro-Canada. I can't even make this stuff up. All I wanted to do, I wanted to go in. We do have the best talent in the world. No doubt about it. 50's not too bad. I think it was like 10, 11 degrees here today. Overcast, but now the rain's in. It's going to be a soaker here tomorrow. So anyway, at the end of the day, I have to get into, see, you thought about it, Lori. You said, look, there's no rain. You have put rain out there, and now it's raining. All I wanted to do was go in and get gas. The guy next to me in the pump had a massive truck, and he was hauling a big electrical generator. We struck up a conversation because I had dirt on the back of the truck, and he suggested maybe doing landscaping for movies because he was in the movies where he's like a teamster, right? He transports the electrical units to movie sets and whatever. So I asked him what's the coolest thing you've ever seen on a movie set? And he quickly told me a story where, and the guy that's telling the story is probably in his 60s or 70s. I don't know this guy. I have no idea who this guy is. We had a 10-minute conversation while I was getting gas. I actually had to tell him several times, well, Bob, it's, gotta go. I gotta get back to work. I almost felt bad leaving him. Anyway, back to the story. He was on a movie set, and he heard someone playing the banjo. And they were playing the banjo really, really well. And when he came around the corner, it was Steve Martin. So that was his story. And I said to him, yeah, I believe Steve Martin is a really talented banjo player. I think he might even have his own band. Anyway, hi Angie, how are you? So that was my two strange interactions with people at Petro-Canada. Strange. Safe travels. How many people utter the words safe travels? When you know someone is going away, do you ever include the phrase safe travels when you're messaging them? Anyone? Because I do. And I don't do a lot of traveling, but when I do travel, I have never in my life had a bad experience traveling. Never. You know why? Because just by putting safe travels out there, that's what you're going to get. You understand? It is. It is that simple. Whatever you want to put in front of you, just think about it. Manifest it. Have fun with it. Good stuff. Yes, safe travels. Anyway, that just popped into my head today. But the coolest part was on my drive home. On my drive home, two things happened on the drive home. I'm at a red light, and as I get a green light, the traffic on the right-hand side has already been moving. Like they didn't slow down, so they're just doing the speed limit. So everyone goes by me, and these two guys go by in these super nice Harleys. I don't know a lot about bikes. I don't spend a lot of time riding on bikes, but I know a nice Harley when I see one. So these guys go ripping by us in the intersection. We go up the hill, and I meet up with them maybe a kilometer up the road, but we're now at another red light. And I'm sitting in the truck, and he's in his motorcycle. Him and his buddy are talking, and I'm just smiling, admiring these two bikes. And the guy closest to me turns around, and I kid you not, we lock eyes, and we just look at each other. We lock eyes, and we're like, yeah. I'm thinking, you have a sweet ride, and he's thinking, I have a sweet ride. So that was cool. To Harley Davidson, and this guy looked, he looked a little rough around the edges. No, well, he did. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have said that because I don't know who this guy is. I'm sure he was a nice guy, but it was just weird. I mean, we exchanged pleasantries. Anyway, two guys on the Harley Davidson, good stuff. But this is the most I've talked about the overabundance of bad drivers that we have, not just in the Lower Mainland. I know they exist where you are as well. I'm driving home this afternoon after seeing the bikers. I have a green light. I am flowing with traffic. I have an individual who's coming off a side road that just wants to cut me off. Like he just wants to get in front of me. I have to jam on the brakes. So he can get in front of me. I honestly don't even know if he saw me. He was completely oblivious that a huge Ford 550 was beside him. I let him pass me, and I realized he was driving an Echo. Ironically, he was driving an Echo. Because I'm sure if you went up to this guy and whispered in his ear, "You're a bad driver. You're a bad driver. You're a bad driver. You're a bad driver." Do you get it? An Echo. It was ironic that he was driving an Echo because he couldn't drive. So when I went up to him and hollered in his ear, "You're a bad driver. You're a bad driver." I don't know. I was probably stretching that one. Probably stretching it. Sometimes you try too hard and the joke just, boom, falls right over. Safe travels are... What else are you going to say? What else are you going to say? Hi, gang. Okay, so it's 6:30. That was the past 24. That was a lot. Boom! Yes. Okay, let's get to some stories. Oh, sorry, I want to get to my dream. Laura wanted to hear dream number 25. Just give me a second here. I want to pre-read this. Maybe I don't have to. It's called Star Trek. This was on July 23rd. I'm just going to read it slowly. I was standing alongside the road in front of my great-uncle Ilber's garage with Captain Jean-Luc Picard and Dr. Beverly Crusher. How do I even know their names? William Riker, number 1, was trapped under the road. We could see him, but couldn't help him in any way. This monster had swallowed the... The monster had swallowed the woman, and we were trying to save her. In the end, the beast made its presence and spit up the woman. She was still alive, but she was covered in slime. I don't know. That's a dream from July 23rd, 1993. A request from Laura. Yeah, Star Trek. You never know what's going on in this brain. Product plug, we did. We have that. Oh, I also have, some of you may or may not know, back in 07, 08, 09, I was an EMR, which is a emergency medical responder. You geek out your dream. You geeked out your dream. Oh, yeah. Total Star Trek. Oh, Trekkie. That was a Trekkie dream. A Trekkie. I should send that to like StarTrek.com or something. They'd be like, wow. Well, I don't even... Yeah, there was a phase. There was a time when I did watch a lot of Star Trek. When Jean-Luc Picard was, in the show. I don't know what one it was. You don't like Star Trek? What? Yeah, it's not for everyone. But Gene Roddenberry was a genius. Genius. Yeah, I'll send that to you. Don't forget, I find this interesting. I document everything. And I have a medic journal. All this is just daily logs of work and personal life when I was up north in BC. Yeah, The Next Generation. I think that's what it was. That was probably my favorite. All right, Ike and Mike, let's do this. Okay, so let's get to our first story. Is there anything... I've talked for 30 minutes. Before we get into the first story, I can take a couple minutes. If there is anything anyone wants to say to me, any questions, anything you want to talk about, subjects that we can talk about tomorrow night, Wednesday, Thursday, fire them up right now, and we'll just have a moment of silence. Alrighty. Wayne, I just wanted to tell you too, man. This here, it's one of my MattTv t-shirts that Jen made. If you like, I would love to send one home to you. I'm not going to, I'm just going to send one home because I love you, man, and I'm going to send you home a shirt. So, and some pins. I have a bowl of pins that Jen's been working on. We'll probably, right now, I'll take all the pins with me to Boston, and I'll give them to Mom, and then we'll go from there. Somehow I'll make sure they get to the Civic Center or something, or I'll mail them. Yeah, I love the t-shirts. I'm in my garage and it's kind of chilly tonight, so that's why I have my my nice sweater on. But I love the sweater. So let's our first topic we're going to get into is outsourcing of jobs. And has anyone ever lost their job to outsourcing, or know someone who has lost their job to outsourcing? The NHL decision on the Olympics. Thanks for the question. Right now, Gary Bettman is saying the NHL is not going to the Olympics. They consider the case closed, but there are hockey coaches that are upset with the decision. There are many players that are upset with the decision. Some players are just going to go and play for their country regardless. They don't care. But something I read this morning, that not all of our Canadian talent is here in North America playing NHL in the States and for Canada. We have a tremendous amount of talent in the American Hockey League and playing in Europe. So that is Hockey Canada's plan B. So we'll see where that goes. But anything can happen. Anything can happen. Oh yeah. I think this shirt, I'll have to check the size, but I think I might make some more. Yeah, I forgot. I'm the Slim Shady. Anything else I want to talk? Oh, birthday today. I know Darla Lutwick is having a birthday today. So happy birthday, Darla. I didn't send her a message because I just did it right now. I thought I would make it a little more public. Okay, first story. Outsourcing of jobs. Outsourcing of jobs. What do you think about it? Yeah, here's the story right here, Susan. Who defends Canada's Olympic gold that the NHL is out? Just go to cbc.ca, sports, hockey. If you go to the CBC website, you can get more information on it. Outsourcing. Okay. Outsourcing. This story is, again, so I can't... So, and me laughing right now is not helping. I'm just going to, I'm going to start shoveling a little quicker. That hole's getting a little bit deeper for me. He just doesn't know when to shut up. Look at him. He's just going and going. So this is about the CIBC. The CIBC CEO explains why bank is replacing Canadian staff with workers from India. Now this happens not just with banks, it happens with a lot of companies. And it's basically to stay competitive. So CIBC's CEO issued an internal staff memo last Friday to address the CBC News story, revealing that the bank is eliminating up to 130 Toronto finance jobs and outsourcing the work to India. So you have to ask yourself, well, why would they do that? It's not about the money. In his memo, in this memo, it says the bank sometimes outsources jobs to other countries. Some affected employees say they believe CIBC is doing it in case to save money at a time when the bank has pulled in $1.4 billion in profit. So what they're doing is, but they also in this article say that the CIBC, when they do outsourcing to other companies in Canada. But the whole reasoning, is to, the CIBC, if you just look at it this way, there are 24 time zones in the world. So if you're only operating on X amount of time zones, you are going to lose out. So you need to get yourself established in other areas of the country so that you can stay competitive. That, to me, seems to be the big picture here. The big picture. But the collateral damage is people here in Canada losing their jobs. Some of them will have buyouts. Some, if they're lucky, may get transferred. But it's just one of those things, and CIBC is no different than any other organization that at some point, in order to stay competitive, in order to save money and streamline, which is what everyone needs to do, no matter what you're doing, you have to, at the end of every day, you have to sit down and say to yourself, okay, were we effective today? Were we productive today? And if you're answering no to some of those questions, then you have to tweak it. And you have to make it run more efficiently, more smoothly. This show here, this is the beginning of my 4th week. I have gone from sitting on my couch on a Friday night and a Saturday morning for 2 hours to creating something that is a little more suited for what I want to do. You know, like I said, you never know who's watching. You always have to bring your A game. You have to brand yourself. And that's why I have stuff like this. I have a map behind me with, you know, why do I have a map behind me? Because I'm getting ready to go on this crazy adventure across the United States of America in a time when there's a lot of uncertainty in the United States of America. You know, if I was to just think about public transportation right now, I would worry myself sick. But that's not the individual that I am. I believe and I know that there is a protective, positive, energetic bubble that hovers over this house, and it goes wherever I go. I feel lucky for people that are in my general vicinity, because I don't wish any harm to come to me. I don't wish any harm to come to my family. I don't wish any harm to come to my friends. And that's the energy that I put out there. So any people that want to cause harm, that energy just deflects them away. Do you understand? Like, that's just how I think. And that's, if more people thought like that, man, the world would just be awesome. Thanks, Nick. Yeah, you know what? This this sweater has been with me for 17 years. I'm not exactly sure. It came into my possession. Well, it's more of a family sweater. You know, Jen wears it as well. It's not just mine. My hand movement. You know, that's the hardest thing. You know, you watch news people when they talk and their hands are very still. That would be, well, I guess it wouldn't be too hard. But they also don't have to look around at different things, pick things up. You know, most times they're just reading a teleprompter. So I don't know how I get on that topic. I know I have busy hands. Outsourcing. Are you a fan of it? Have you ever been affected by it? Leave a comment now or leave it later. Don't matter. We're just kind of rolling with it. 18 minutes away from 7 o'clock here in White Rock, British Columbia, on the south coast of this beautiful province. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Overcast today, rain coming down. We're looking for wet weather tomorrow, but warm temperature, so it's all good. We're all still dealing with the effects of a brutal winter. In West Coast terms, this winter was just was not a lot of fun. Not a lot of fun. Let's move right along. Let's get into artificial intelligence. Now, what do you think when you hear the words artificial intelligence? What do you immediately think of? I'm curious. What do you immediately think of when you hear of artificial intelligence? Does it cause for concern? Are you for it? Are you one of those people where, you know, it's about time? But I see it as, do I still have the, sorry, what now? Oh, the coin. That's a negative. No, I don't. I don't have the coin. But that's funny. Why does Derek? I still have the jersey, though. I still have the jersey. You know, I saw him tell the D-man that I saw the Sally man the other day pushing a mower, dirty, sweating, didn't have a good expression on his face, made me laugh. Will Smith in the shower from the movie. Sorry, I just want to go back. Oh, okay, so that's what you think of. I didn't see artificial intelligence with Will Smith. I just got to go back to my comments here. All right, Wayne, have a good night, brother. Yeah. Thanks for coming in, Wayne. I always appreciate you here, man. You make the show that much better. So love you, man. Have a good night. We'll catch up with you later. What's for real, Laura? I don't know what's for real here. I'm just kind of reading comments. Oh, artificial intelligence. Yeah, someone said that I've never seen. Oh, you're asking me, are you stunned? Oh, you're saying OMFG for real that I haven't seen artificial intelligence. I'm not the biggest Will Smith fan. I liked Will Smith in, what was the zombie movie where he was the scientist? Why can't I think of that name? Someone help me out here. The Lawnmower Man? The Lawnmower. Anyway, artificial intelligence. Here's the story. It's basically iRobot. Yes. No, I've never seen iRobot. No, that's not the one with the zombies, is it? I Am Legend. Yeah, thank you, William. Yeah. I Am Legend. That was, to me, that was a good movie. I liked the ending. I'm glad it ended the way it ended. I know there was an alternative ending or an alternate ending, but I'm glad that he blew himself up. Oh, did I spoil that for anyone? I Am Legend. Hey, Wayne, you're still in here. You just can't turn me off the big screen. You just can't turn me off the big screen. You know, sometimes you can just mute. Just mute me. Just mute me and then add your own words in to what you think I'm saying. That's fun to do. Have you ever done that? Next time you're watching a commercial, the next time you're watching a series of commercials, just put it on mute and make up your own dialogue. It's hilarious. It is. I've never tried it, but it sounds like it would be a lot of fun, and I'm actually going to try it when I go in. Denise, are you still watching? You and Ann still watching? Oh. Show's getting a little off the... but the only thing I can say about artificial intelligence, what I think will happen and what is happening, is it's going to take humans out of the equation. Humans will inevitably lose their jobs to artificial intelligence, and it's already happening right now. You look at and there's talking about this, the situation in where they do coal, where they're coal mining. The big trucks, those big trucks are they're operated by computer. Well, right now, I think right now they do have drivers that are in a control room. I don't know if they actually have drivers in the vehicles. But there's so many different ways that you can look at artificial intelligence. A lot of people will say it's bad because humans are going to be out of work, and then you start throwing people out of work. The only people that are going to be working are the people that are creating the technology. So I don't know. It's a slippery slope. Slippery slope, they say. Artificial intelligence. Leave a comment. Good, bad. I know we're just kind of skimming. We're just kind of skimming on topics. I don't claim to be an expert in any of the fields or any of the stories that I'm talking about. I don't really know a lot about outsourcing or artificial intelligence or cyborgs or Syrian refugees. But the whole point of the program is to bring these topics to, put them up on the table so that we can discuss them. We may not get discuss things in the 60 minutes because things fly along quite quickly, but a lot of people watch the show later on, and that's, you can leave comments now or you can leave them later. It doesn't matter. But the important thing is after the show, I sit down and I just kind of go through my computer and I just kind of find stories that I find interesting, and I hope you find these stories interesting as well, because maybe some of these stories you would never have even heard. I'm just bringing them to the surface. And I'm kind of wondering, I don't think a Nick is in here tonight. See, I know who the regular viewers are. I don't know if you're still talking about a movie, Laura. Cloth diapers, they leak. You're talking about your son cruising around. Tell the D-man I said hi, though. Artificial intelligence. So, good, bad. We don't know. What was the other thing I wanted to talk about? Cyborgs. Quickly, cyborgs at work. I found this quite interesting. And the end is like really bizarre. This comes out of Stockholm. Cyborgs at work. Employees are getting implanted with microchips. This is actually happening. So the syringe slides in between the thumb and the index finger. Then, with a click, a microchip is injected in the employee's hand. Another cyborg is created. What could pass for a dystopian vision of the workplace is almost routine at this Swedish startup hub Epicenter. The company offers to implant its workers and startup members with microchips the size of grains of rice that function as swipe cards. They function as swipe cards to open doors, operate printers, or buy smoothies with the wave of a hand. The injections have become so popular that workers at Epicenter hold parties for those willing to get implanted. So, if you were You're at your company is just getting together, or they've been together for 10, 20 years, and you have a well-knit group of coworkers, and no one's going anywhere. Would you? Yes, it is gross, but I think this might just be an in-company thing. It's not like a mass distribution of tracking devices or whatever. But I just found it funny that you make the decision to get this implant, and some of the things they can do, I just want to read you some of the things that they're able to do. It has its pros and cons for sure. I just want to find, some of it was quite funny what they could do. Anyway, you can see the story. It's on cknw.com. But I thought the strangest thing, the weirdest thing, they have this big party for you. You have your chip, and you can pay bills, and you can swipe your hand and open doors and everything. But the weirdest part was, after getting the chip, what they don't tell you this until after they put the chip in, that for the first 24 to 48 hours, they really want to know how true, if you have really pledged your allegiance to the company, how serious you are about being a cyborg. They put this chip in, but they don't tell you for the first, I think it's 48 hours. You have to talk like this. The chip is designed so you can only talk like this for 48 hours. Can you imagine? It is creepy. For 48 hours with this chip, the moment it's in, they I don't know, they snap their finger and you're like in a trance, and you can only talk like this for 48 hours. And that's when you really gauge, that's when they really know. They really know that you're serious about this. But no, they don't actually. There's nothing in the chip that makes you talk like a robot. I just added that because I thought that would be funny. That would really test. Be like, are you serious? No, I'm just kidding, Nick. Nick, did you just join in here? Did you just join? Because I just said, like 2 seconds ago, I said, is Nick in here? Did you just join the show? I don't know. Usually you're right in here for the product plug. No, but what is real, now there's real, and then there's Matt Fact. That's what Jen says sometimes, because sometimes I get the truth and my assertion or assumptions mixed in, and then it becomes a Matt Fact, so it's not really truthful, but it's not really lying either. Anyway, they're kind of meshed together. Oh, that's no worries. I'm just glad you're here. Listen to this. Tonight's product plug, it was in front of the camera for probably 10 minutes. I had to take it out of the box because I just thought it was too easy. We did have the right guess, but do you have any idea? People know what it is, but just quickly, do you have any idea what that might be? What was I talking about? What was I talking about? Artificial intelligence, cyborgs. Yeah. No, what the making people talk like cyborgs, I was just kidding about that. That's not true. I just thought it would be really funny. But no, the implants, true story, and it's happening in Stockholm. It's not here. Are you serious? Did you read the comments from earlier? If you didn't read any comments from previous and you just said Mike and Ike, you are truly amazing, because everyone else they each had a few guesses, but you nailed it. I'm just going to say that, well, yeah, you have a question mark, so I'm going to assume that you didn't scroll and see any of the previous comments, so good on you. Yeah, they're good stuff. Never had them before. I didn't read. Wow. Impressive. Oh, before I'm done here, I want to give a shout out to Randy Boxwell. Randy Boxwell went to school with us back east, or back in Woodstock. But I think when we went into grade 9 or 10, when we went into high school, he moved away. And now he's living in Maine. And he was really excited to get back home this past summer for our high school 25th reunion. Had a mishap and ended up with first, second, and third degree burns on his body. So I went and saw him this summer. Long story short, we've stayed in touch. And he sent me a message tonight saying that WAGM, which is the television station in somewhere in Maine ran a story on my sister Jill, who's running in the Boston Marathon, which is why I'm going to Boston. 1 week from tonight, I'll be on a bus. So when that interview comes up on the WAGM Facebook page, I'll share it on my page, and you can check out my sister as she gets ready for this amazing, amazing adventure. I just want to quickly talk about, I got one more topic that I want to talk about, and it is, I think I lost it. Oh, here we are. I wanted to talk about this last night. We didn't have time. I just want to quickly talk about it right now. It's about asylum seekers. And this is not about individuals fleeing third world countries. This is a story of individuals that are... My battery's getting low. Hang on one second. I got to plug... I knew I didn't plug my thing in. Hang on. Thanks for telling me, man. I'd hate to lose. It's not about the people leaving third world countries and needing help. It's actually about individuals in the States. What's happening is we have people in the United States who want to come to Canada, but they are U.S. citizens, but they just want to leave Canada and they want to seek asylum here. So what they're doing is they are sneaking across the border at areas where they're unmanned. So they're not coming through an official port of entry into Canada. What they're doing in, I think it's Plattsburgh, New York, there's a bus that goes to, the final stop is in Plattsburgh, New York. That bus is then bound for Montreal. But what people are doing is they're getting off the bus in Plattsburgh, New York, taking sometimes a $500 cab ride to a place called Roxham Road. It's a rural road, and they're in the U.S., they cross a ditch, and they're into Canada. The American forces are there, but because they're not doing anything illegal, they can't keep them there. And on the other end, the RCMP are welcoming these people, saying, look, you really should go through an official port of entry. If you don't, you're going to be arrested. And their answer is, yeah, we don't care. They want to be arrested. They want the safety of being in Canada. Just the most amazing story. I know I just touched on it briefly, but you can check it out at... It's a CBC. I get a lot of my stories from the CBC. I've always, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's because I'm Canadian, but I've always trusted the CBC News. I've been watching the CBC News for many, many years. They have great radio programs. And to this date, the CBC has never given me a reason to not trust their sources. So, a lot of my stories come from the CBC. So you can find all this information out. You can Google the stories I'm talking about: outsourcing of jobs, artificial intelligence, the NHL Olympics, asylum seekers, cyborgs at work. You can find all this stuff on the internet. So that's what I do at night. When my show is finished, I find some interesting stories that I can bring to the table to you. So I encourage you, if there are any subjects, any people you want to shed light on, by all means let me know, and we'll do it right here on Facebook Live, MattTv. We do it Monday through Friday, 6 o'clock, here on the west coast of Canada. Woo! We got about 90 seconds left in the show, and I just want to end the show by thanking you, the individual watching on the other side of this camera. Always appreciate the live views, always appreciate the feedback. Sometimes, if I have a chance, I'll wake up in the morning and watch the show back just to critique myself. What can I do differently? Read the comments. Sometimes I don't get a chance to read all the comments as they go. But again, I am so thankful. The sweater, I don't think it's handmade, Nick. I don't, but I absolutely love the sweater. It just keeps me nice and warm. But again, No worries, Nick. No worries, man. It's I like when you pop in. I like it when people come and go. It's all good, man. I'm here for 60 minutes, and whether you're here live or later, it's all good, my friend. Safe travels in your journey tomorrow, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night. But again, I just want to close by saying much love to everyone. Have a great Wednesday. We have another great show tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. Again, Dream Journal, stuff from my medical past. We'll do 1 week tonight. We'll have a product plug and maybe another clip from my first shift on CHCR College Radio. Have a great night, Sarah. Have a great Wednesday. We'll see everyone back here tomorrow night. MattTV, Facebook Live, 6 o'clock. Bye.